Hello and welcome back to my channel and my London and Paris vlog. Hopefully this finds you well and you are enjoying the series. If this is the first video you are seeing, welcome. I have a whole set of series of videos before this one, my time in London before I go to Paris, and the first full 2 days that I'm in Paris. And then today we're going to talk about and walk through my time of taking the Eurostar back to London from Paris, and then continuing on my adventure for part of the day going to the Westminster Abbey and then taking a day trip out to Oxford. Come along for this great, amazing journey as we take off and continue this great trip. I'm having such a wonderful time. So I start off with getting ready to head pretty early to the Eurostar, the Paris train station. So I get to the station a couple hours early. And then I go through security with all my baggage and luggage. And once I'm through, I have some time to kill. So I check out, of course, the books that they have available. So as you can see here on the screen, they have the top 10 books. And what was really funny is that they had the first 1 and 2, the Housemaid, and the Housemaid Secret. And I was currently reading the Housemaid Secret, which is the second book in the trilogy, on the number 5 spot. The red cover book is the one that's a Housemaid Secret. And so I enjoyed reading that on my Kindle. I am really enjoying the Kindle. I did get this for my trip so that I have some books to read and try out reading on a Kindle. And I am really enjoying it. I'm very surprised and excited to continue reading all the books as I got home, and I continue to read using it, which is great. I do currently have Kindle Unlimited for the first 3 months as a trial and enjoying that. We'll see if I continue that after the 3 months are up here in August. So I will stay tuned. Hopefully after this series is done, we can take a look at my review of the Kindle. And that first is library books and books that I have purchased by myself. So, okay, let's go ahead and continue on. So I enjoyed checking out some of the additional things I have to offer. I grabbed a water and a snack, and then checked out some lotions they had there. They had the La Roche line of hand lotion products. I did decide to get my mom a couple of those as a gift and a souvenir from my trip because I thought that was, a Paris product. So I really enjoyed checking those out and got a couple for my mom, a gardenia one and a rose one. So that was kind of a fun cute little treat that I got her with the remaining cash that I had that I needed to spend the rest of my euros. And so I spent all my cash, and so then that way I don't have to worry about getting that converted back when I get back to America. So that was a fun way to spend some of that money and enjoyed that time. I then boarded the train and headed back. It was a very uneventful 2 hours. I did notice the actual tunnel that we went through underwater at that point, which I did notice more on the way back than on the way there. But it was about 15 minutes of just, darkness outside, but it was still light in the train. Again, didn't have any real cell service or data, so make sure you download all the different TV shows, movies, books they want to read ahead of time before you go through that tunnel. So then when I got back to London at the international train station, I went ahead and took a taxi to my new hotel, which was very cool. I stayed at the Strand. It was a very nice hotel. I preferred that over the first London hotel that I stayed at. So let's take a look at some pictures of that hotel. In the lobby of the Strand Palace Hotel, there was a very nice restaurant with a bar that I ate at most nights. And from there, I was able to use a $7 credit for not having housekeeping come and clean my room the 3 of the 4 nights that I stayed there. So that was a nice perk to enjoy dinner right there in the hotel, which was a great reservation. I did have breakfast on the last morning before I went and took my flight back home. So that was a nice buffet as well. I did enjoy my time at this restaurant. As you can also see, the hotel room, I did have a double/full room. It was pretty small, but the bathroom was bigger than the first hotel that I stayed at in London, which was very nice. I did enjoy this hotel. There were water bottle fill stations by the elevators, which was nice, but I did miss having a mini fridge to keep the water cold during the day. But I did overall enjoy my stay at the Strand Palace Hotel. The next day, I took the city bus over to the Westminster Abbey, and it was right next to Parliament Square, which was really neat to see the Big Ben or the bell tower, or however you want to call it. I had some amazing views, even though it was raining this day. It was just the one day in London that it rained pretty hard, and it was just kind of a typical London feel that way. It was kind of entertaining to see it in the rain and some clouds versus the sun. It's just a whole different feel, but I loved it just as well as taking things in through a sunny day. So as you can see, I'm kind of waiting and seeing the Big Ben and the bells chiming. It was very cool to hear the bell chime of Big Ben. And then I waited outside for the actual Westminster Abbey tour and place to open. I had a great view of St. Margaret's Church just next door to the Westminster Abbey, which is still a functioning church just like Westminster Abbey. I was then the third person in line for the very first Westminster Abbey tour of the day. This was a door to get into Westminster Abbey, and really enjoyed dropping off and getting my ticket scanned, as well as I had pre-ordered a purple leather bookmark, which was very cool to see, and have been really enjoying using in my books. And so I got that when I picked up my ticket because I had pre-ordered it. They make a note saying you must pick those up at the actual ticket counter. And as I entered, I had a great view of this book. It was just gorgeous color and detail. Nobody really explains it until you see it. The actual detail and the history and just the years of just the exposure to all of the history and just all of the years that things have been existent and just colorful and vibrant. It was amazing to see the detail and the carvings and just the amount of hours and days and years spent on building this architecture and tombs and tile floors to the sculptures of all of the ceilings. It blew me away at how much detail, and even the stained glass. I just go ahead and take it all in. I'll let you enjoy just the amazing atmosphere. It was a self-guided tour. I did have a headset where each of the different places had a number marker, which then you can watch a video and have audio of some of the narration of some of these great exhibits. I am one that doesn't appreciate graveyards, but this was just the history behind everything was just amazing to see. They did have a call to prayer, or if you were interested in praying, they did an announcement about once an hour or so, and you could pray in silence. It was just a moment of silence for those that were in need of those. And you can also submit a prayer request to the bishop that was doing service that day. There was a couple different services within the Westminster Abbey. I think there was 3 that day. I was not there for it, but it was neat to see some prayers as well. From at the very end, there was a dedication to authors and artists, and it was kind of neat to see the one for C.S. Lewis. I did return my headset with the video guide, and then I did pay an extra admission charge of £5 on top of the $30 admission to the Westminster Abbey to go upstairs to the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Galleries, which had some great stained glass, as well as the actual outfits that some of royalty wore over the years, including some 13th century items. There is a long set of stairs that you can climb, or there is an elevator for those that need it to go up and down between the staircase. So this is a new exhibit that has recently opened. I did enjoy my time up here. It is also great for looking down over the Westminster Abbey. There were some amazing views. I did spend maybe about 30 minutes up here. I did have the first admission time, which was 30 minutes after the opening of Westminster Abbey, to go up to the galleries and enjoyed that. From there, I went on to check out the cloisters, which is a beautiful sculptures and stones, and looking out over the center of the Abbey itself. And so I have some amazing pictures during this rainy, dreary day within Westminster Abbey. But it was just kind of very cool to see the history and the paths that were walked, as well as stones and monuments and plaques throughout. From there, I, as I headed out, saw the throne that was used for the crowning of Prince Charles, and that is currently on display on the exit of Westminster Abbey. From there, I checked out the cafe and had carrot cake and a nice coffee. It is a tradition of mine to actually get carrot cake wherever I go, to try the different ways that people make it. It's just a fun adventure and something to look forward to from this adventure. From there, I checked out the gift shop and got some additional souvenirs. So hopefully after this video, we'll have some souvenir hauls. Once I left the gift shop and cafe, I found a post box that was traditional to the UK, as well as took some great pictures of Westminster Abbey in the moody rain. And it was just gorgeous to see all of that, as well as walking around and seeing all the patriotism and flags and just iconic scenes of London that you see on TV and in movies. It was so neat to see. From there, I took a taxi to Harrods, which is a famous, huge department store, checked out the book section, and got Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is a UK version versus the American version, which is different in title. And so I enjoyed walking around there, had another iced coffee in the actual cafe. And from there, stumbled upon this gorgeous restaurant. Oh my goodness, can't imagine how much this cost to go in and have a meal of some kind, or even just drinks. It was stunning. It's probably the most expensive restaurant or stunning restaurant I've ever seen, but it was just fun to see and stumble upon. From there, I headed on back to the hotel room to relax and had dinner that night at the restaurant downstairs in the hotel. Thank you for watching days 8 and 9 of my 2-week trip to London and Paris. Next week, we're going to go and take a day trip to Oxford, which is only about an hour train ride away from London. I'm so excited for you to take part and see all I get up to at Oxford. But before we go, I want to take a look and talk about my highlights from day 8 and day 9. Day 8, I think, was the train journey. I did really enjoy the Eurostar. It was very quick, very efficient. I had a great time. I was sad to leave Paris. I really enjoyed Paris. But then my highlight from day 9, of course, has to be the Westminster Abbey and all of the stained glass and just colors and history. It was just amazing to see. I really am happy that I spent the money and took the time to really enjoy Westminster Abbey. It was a great adventure. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.